Welcome to the Checkered Flag NASCAR League Championship broadcast coming tonight from Homestead-Miami. We had the National and Truck Series broadcasts last week, and the Cup Series is so special they get their own week. Tonight I'll be joined by Ryan Parsons. He raced in the Cup Series the whole year. Ryan, you've been around these guys all year. What are you expecting tonight?
I'm fully expecting a 12-4 show, as it has been pretty much all year. Unless the 88 or 41 could pull a strategy, I fully expect a 12-4 show tonight.
Yeah, so we have four competitors tonight. We have the four of Tegan Jones. He has won a whopping 16 races heading into tonight. Bradley has 6 wins. He drives the 12 car. Mine Killer Michael Fox, he's the driver of the 88, 7 wins, nothing to slouch about there. And Predator, 2 wins this season, driver of the number 41 car. He is in the Final Four, and we kind of are looking at the 88 and the 41 as underdogs, but I think they got a pretty good chance, Ryan.
I mean, I think everyone's got an equal chance here, but as the season kind of shows, as the storyline for the Cup Series has been between the 12 and the 4, and from what it seems like, I think it easily is going to turn right into that. The 88's wins have come off great strategy calls from him, but have come off strategy calls. And the 41, he's fast, but it just seems like he just needs that slight little big boost to maybe get to the 4 and the 12. Except like Martinsville, he was good, but yeah, you see where the 4 and the 12 can outbeat him at certain tracks, and I think this is one that he needs to get up front and battle quick. If he cannot do that, it's going to be a lot more difficult with a long race as it is.
It is a very long race. We got 134 laps tonight, around 200 miles around Homestead-Miami Speedway. It is a mile-and-a-half track, and it'll be very interesting to see what you can do tonight. Homestead is a multi-groove track. It seems like throughout the championship races and any practice sessions that we've seen that the bottom has been the preferred lane. What would you look at it? Are you looking to stay on the bottom tonight, Ryan? If you're one of those four?
I think unless you can make that top work. I mean, I ran a little bit of Homestead just on my own in online lobbies, and the bottom was just hooking so much cleaner, and the top isn't there as it was, and it's just not there. I fully expect to see a lot more people on the bottom, and I think that secret actually got figured out last Homestead, or actually 2 Homesteads ago, but it really started coming in, especially last year.
Yeah, and your teammates with the 4 and the 41, and we can join right now. What have you seen from them this year?
Both guys extremely quick. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Those guys have been extremely fast cars, very smart. Tegan obviously is always in the right spot at the right time. 16 wins is just unbelievable and blasphemous to even hear that, but he's been the cream of the crop this year when it comes to winning. And then Predator has been very consistent, top 5s, top 10s, top 3s. I mean, then the 2 wins, obviously, sweeping Daytona, so he's always somewhere in the spot, but there's sometimes where he runs into problems.
Yeah, and everybody in the Final Four has had some problems this year, but it's going to be very, very curious to see what can happen here. Bradley and Tegan went at it for the title last year. We are going to be burning a lap here and getting ready to go, so we'll take a pace lap and see what comes of it. As I said before, 134 laps. The fuel run is about 30 to 31 laps. It'll be very, very interesting to see what strategies some drivers might play tonight.
I agree, and the better question is, because this is a little bit of a rougher track on tires, can these guys even run out a whole fuel run on tires?
Yeah, this track, depending on what lane you run, it really depends on tire wear, if you can save your tires and have them later in the run, but we'll see if they can make it the whole fuel run, or maybe people try to short pit a little bit to try to get an advantage.
I agree, because we have seen some drivers actually pull off that short pit. The 18 at Darlington was starting to do some short pitting, and it actually gave him a little bit of an advantage. Sadly, he lagged out that race. He probably was winning that race, but he ended up having that short pit strategy that got him way up front, but he was always good at Darlington. And
The
then
The Final Four starts first, second, third, and fifth tonight. Bradley leads the field to the green, and the green flag is out at the championship race. The 88 almost beats him to the line there. If he did that would have been a penalty.
that would have been really bad right there. He definitely was antsy. A little bit of championship nerves, possibly, as the 88 obviously on the outside of the 4, but it seems like the 4 should have a chance to clear him here, which he does, and the 41 follows right up under him.
And how about this, the Final Four in the top 4? Tegan Jones actually underwent a name change today. He is now that Jones Boy 4.
Boy. How about that? He told me in a little secret talk that he changed it for Homestead. He said that he was going to change it for Homestead. He thought about it 3 weeks ago, but now really pulled it off with this one.
We have the chase camera from the 41 car right now, and he is running 4th out of the top 4, which are the Final Four. Lots of 4s right now. Call it a Jay-Z album, but we got the 4 and the 88, Tegan and Mindkiller, side by side.
Yep. And it seems like Mindkiller actually got a little bit of that top going, that middle top groove kind of rolling here, but as I think as the laps roll down, and you should fully expect a bottom groove race here.
The 41 is all over the back bumper of the 4.
I agree. 95 getting up under the 41 and the 4 at that point, too. I'd be very careful as a 95. He did have caused a lot of enemies this year. Doing that will not help his cause, especially with how much this race means to the 4 up front right now.
You really kind of question why the 41 is beating the back bumper of the 4 right now. It's not
even close to where it's at.
And he's very squirrely on the front stretch.
I think he ran too loose. He might have ran it a little too loose, or he's pushing it way too hard right now. It is only maybe 5 laps into this race. You need to really slow it down here. You're really going to damage your tires.
And now we see this multi-groove element. Oh, contact on the straightaway between the 12 and the 88. We see this multi-groove element. Throughout the weekends at Homestead, we've seen the bottom be the preferred lane, but Bradley's really running the 88 up the track. He's not giving him much room, which is a really smart strategy in trying to limit his corner exit speed.
I agree, but that's also letting that 4 car right behind him right into the picture. Did you see the 95 starting to get up over the 41 there, too, so...
24's in this group, too.
Whoa!
Oh, 95 around, 24 involved!
I think the 20 also got involved there. That should be a yellow. Wow. Battle for the race lead here, coming to the line.
Tegan below him. They're going to be 3 abreast. Heading to the line. Tegan's the leader.
Wow.
Caution out.
Wow. Tegan got the caution. Tegan got the lead right as the caution came out. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and that was a very good battle, and that could be maybe a little prelude to what we could see later tonight. Still a lot of time. We're early on here.
Very early on, and obviously it was non-Final Four drivers crashing there, so not too much of a worry.
And we didn't really get a good angle of it on the broadcast here, but it looked like the 95 was trying not to hit the 41 of Predator, and it looks like he lost control of his car and got hooked by the 24 and collected the 20 of Incog.
I think that's just how tough. I mean, especially the top lane coming off that corner. It's very bumpy. It hits hard, and it obviously knocked him loose and sent him right into the 24.
And we have everybody is a taker on pit road here. Makes a lot of sense, right?
I think so. Early on in the run. I mean, also I just think with how this goes, is fresh tires is the killer, and if you don't have fresh tires, you're gonna fall way back until the tires start maybe evening out a little bit.
Gotta find out who the... Alright, so we will see who will win the race off of pit road. Bradley's pit crew has been pretty good all year.
Yeah, so is the 4. 41 has been a little bit inconsistent so far. But the 12 and the 4, there goes the 4 right out.
And Bradley, it's close.
I think it's Tegan.
Tegan wins the race off of pit road.
And there's my reason for the consistency with the 41's pit crew. You see how much space the 88 had between him and the 41?
Yeah.
Yeah, just very inconsistent for the 41. Hopefully he needs his pit crew to be top notch tonight, and that is not a good sign for him right now.
And as has been the case so far. Time for the Final Four. I assume the three other competitors tonight want to stay away from messing with these guys.
I would definitely advise that. Let battle. You can battle for fifth all you want, but if you start tricking into that Final Four, you need to let those guys battle. And if you're not letting them battle, it's going to turn ugly because those Final Four guys will get extremely angry real fast because you're messing with a championship here.
And we will be going green here at the restart zone. Remember, single file restarts. And the green flag is out. Good jump for the 12. He's right on the bumper of the 4. Let's go on board with Bradley.
Very, very good jump for the 12. But I don't think he's going to have enough of that jump to get up under him. Tegan very good at holding his line. Comes up.
He's making the move.
Wow.
He is making the move.
He is making the move.
To answer Sal's question in the chat, the crash was the 20 and the 95 that caused our first. Tegan in the fence!
Oh, there's Mindkiller in the fence too, bouncing off the 41. 41 on the back bumper now of the 4.
Multiple Final Four contenders in the fence here on this restart. And really was the Mindkiller caused by Predator? I know Tegan's was just him driving too hard.
Up there. He was kind of up there already, but I mean, it was close. 4 back up to the 12 already. 88 way back there, dead last actually.
Yeah, 88 side by side with the 95. You assume Spencer's going to let him go here.
Yeah, I would definitely. Ooh, 41 is really, really aggressive. He tried to get up under there in the 4.
Oh, loose in the front of the field, Bradley.
Ooh, that's not good. Oh, Tegan had the move there, just a little too late possibly.
And he might be under attack from the 41.
He might be, but it looks like he's starting to kind of... It seems like he's way faster on the straightaways. At least against the 41. The 4 is just way too powerful on the straightaways. Him and the 12 are about equal, I would think. Yeah, and corner exits really bad.
One thing we've seen a lot this year is the 12 and the 4 work together, and it looks like that is occurring again as you saw Tegan push Bradley down that backstretch, maybe to try to bridge the gap and get these guys out of the draft, because if they can get the 24 and the 20 out of the draft, that really, really hurts the 88 of Mindkiller.
I agree. But I also think it's going to hurt the chances for Predator to get, because Predator needs someone else behind him to maybe have a chance to get by these guys.
I don't think he's really trying to get by these guys. He was very loose off of that corner, but I don't really expect Predator to try to make a move here. I think he'll be pretty comfortable. Mindkiller has cleared that group of people, and he's right there with them now.
Predator heavy on the gas.
88 in the wall. He got the wall a little bit, and now look where he is. He's not in a good range to get draft right now. I would say if I'm the 12, 4, and 41, I'd start pushing right about now.
I would too. But I think the 41's pushing that throttle a little bit too hard. He is washing up the track, middle of the corner. And
very squirrely, yeah.
And that was the point of the first run. He was very squirrely coming off the corner, and it's starting to show again. Entering very deep, and he's washing up, like right about there. He starts to wash up, and then gets squirrely. And again, squirrely a little bit again. Oh, Tegan in the fence.
Tegan got the wall in the straightaway. You see Mindkiller making that outside lane work, but looks like that he's out of the draft.
It definitely looks like it as Predator hits the apron there. He looks like he's out of it, but if he can get that top lane to hook a little bit, Predator again, squirrely, just can't keep that car straight. That's gonna be a very tough night for Predator as he shoots it way under Tegan, tries to get up under him. I think that's too aggressive right there.
A very interesting thing here is if Predator's a little slower than the 12 and the 4 and keeps losing ground off the corners, he could pull the 88 back in. Mindkiller could use Predator as a bridge to get back over to the 12 and the 4.
I think even Mindkiller's got a little bit more speed than the...
Whoa! 4 car loose.
4 car loose, 41 car loose. I think that was the 20 car that...
20's loose. Everybody is loose right now.
Man. But it's not hot and slick, though.
It is not hot and slick. It's It might be slick. It's not hot though. Cool November Miami night.
Yep.
Is there such a thing?
I don't know. That's a great question.
I know it's cool in New York.
Yeah, it snowed in Ohio.
Wow, not snowing here, but might as well be.
It's heading your way, so good luck with that.
I'm gonna have a great time. Thank God I got remote start on my car. Um,
Oh wow, good lord. I mean, Predator's like on the back bumper now of Tegan. Oh,
I
Tegan's
feel
probably
like the 88 is really, really strong.
I do too. I think
Because he's able to pull away from this little three-car pack of the 95, 24, and
I think
20.
I think he's running that middle lane to almost a T to where he's able to make it work. He's not too high up, not too far down, to where he can actually get the momentum still and keep the momentum middle corner and not lose
And now
it.
he's diving right to the bottom. It's very interesting to see that maybe he's shying away from what's been good for him so far.
Maybe shying away, but it's working at the same time.
I think he might have lost a little more ground there on that lap because it looked like he was a good bit closer before. And
I agree. I think he needs to run his strength, and that's that middle lane, middle to
yeah,
top lane.
he should run that until he gets into the draft and he can get the wake and pull right to the back of the 41.
Oh! Never mind. I looked so far back with the lights and everything, I thought there was a wreck. Never mind. Lights messed me up.
And Bradley out front driving the Dex Imaging Ford. Maybe that's a good omen because Dex Imaging won the National Series championship last week.
That bush light scheme, very good under the lights, too.
And Ryan, speaking of the National Series champion, you are the 2020 National Series champion, and I am the 2021 National Series champion with eerily similar stats.
Very, very similar stats. Exact same wins, I believe.
9 wins, yeah.
9 wins. Both came out champions.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what we can do in the Cup Series next year.
But I agree.
Tegan trying a little bit of a high. Maybe he's looking to arc it a little more than Bradley because Bradley dove into the bottom really aggressively there.
I think it's helping Tegan, though, because Tegan, if he just doesn't arch it as much, he seems to get loose off the corners. But with him arching it in, it's actually allowing him to get better traction, it seems like.
We have the chase cam of the 41 right now. He's doing a pretty good job sticking with them, but I don't think he quite has the pace of the 12 and the 4.
I don't think he does either, and you can see him starting to get kind of space between him and Tegan. I think there was a little bit of contact there, was there not?
I'm not sure, but I know Bradley was loose in the center of the corner.
Yeah, I was gonna say what a corner for Tegan there to get there.
Let's get our update on the 88. He's close.
He's closing in. I mean, I think he's probably the third best car out there. I don't know. I think the 41 just seems to be struggling a little bit more, allowing that 88 to keep pulling in.
Let's run through our non-playoff cars. We got the 95 of Spencer in 5th. And we got a little non-playoff driver pack here, the 95 in 5th, the 24 in 6th, and the 20 in 7th. As Spencer gets pretty loose there. And we get back up to the front here. And as we were talking about them, the 41 has lost some considerable ground to the 12 and the 4.
Got a little loose, I think, and I don't know. You can see where, like I said, the 4 and the 12 are just so much stronger than both the 88 and the 41, and it's starting to show now. Where those guys can run it on the long run. Very big, very nice middle corner for Tegan there off of 2.
Oh, Predator's in the wall on the straightaway.
I think Tegan right now is the best car on track. Bradley second, 88 third when it comes to speed. Yeah, you can definitely see it. Something like Predator's car just seems to be getting way too washed up. It's either way too loose in the center or way too tight.
And we're on board with Tegan right now in the 4, and he's got a pretty good little gap, about 2 car lengths to the 12 car in front of him. Bradley definitely was strong. He won the pole by about 1/10 of a second. He was worried earlier this week about his long-run car compared to Tegan, but it seems like he's putting himself in a good spot right now, yeah.
I think they're about even right now. Like I said, the 41, again, keeps getting loose. I just think that looseness is going to keep hurting him, and it is going to be really bad as soon as the longest run possible comes out for him.
And one thing that Tegan does differently than everybody else is he finds a way to very, very aggressively enter pit road without getting a penalty.
I agree.
He always finds a way to gain a lot of time in that aspect of the race, and that's really what helps him out because he's usually probably the quickest car in the field, but he really gains time on pit road and is able to get people out of his draft and pull away.
Yeah, I agree. As Predator got right back to him there, something must have happened.
He must have found something in his car because he is charging. 41 back with the lead group. Bradley's very loose off the corner.
Off the corner. Wow. I think the lead's going to go right to Tegan as of right now. A little bit of a nose ahead.
Side by side into 3 and 4. Looks like Tegan will back off and not challenge him there.
I think that's a smart move as of right now with how this race is going. And this is where we bring up the long run. Who's going to get too loose? Who's going to get too tight? What's going to happen with these cars?
He's on board with Mind Killer again. He is in a good spot right now. He is clawing his way back up to the top 3. That's his championship hopes in front of him.
That's very incredible crawlback right there for him to do that. He had to battle his way back after hitting the wall off the restart. Now he's clawing his way back in. He's almost in draft range now, using that top lane to his advantage.
Yeah, he really kind of lets his car wash up and carry speed through the corner, and it's pretty impressive, his speed right now. He's gaining on the top 3.
I agree. I mean, I thought the top 3 would have pulled from him, but no, he's right there. 41 hard on the back bumper of the 4.
Predator gave him a big push from the corner, but it seems like it's not really for much because these guys are very comfortable with riding, but the way they're driving, they're letting the 88 back into this race.
I agree. Just they're both. One of them gets loose, then he's back in the picture. So what Mind Killer's hoping for is they just continue somewhere to keep getting loose. And you can definitely see where Bradley is much looser as the 41 gets loose on the bottom too.
And the more the 41 gets loose, as he stays within the draft of the 12 and the 4, he can pull that 88 in.
Yep, and it's gonna could end up costing these top 3, because Mind Killer he's great on strategy, and when you put him in the chance to win a race with strategy, he's going to do it.
An interesting thing is that the 88 really he's very hit or miss on strategy is the word to describe it. He either will pull off a really, really good race-winning strategy or be so off on it that you don't understand why he's doing what he's doing.
I think he's back in the draft now.
He's there. The 88 is back with the pack. Final 4 is going to be under our blanket here soon.
Yep, he's maybe a tenth of a second out from getting that draft back. And it's all because those guys in front of him kept getting loose. And he's allowing himself to carry that speed off the corner that maybe some of these guys can't do right now.
Yeah, Bradley's incident where he got loose off of 2 and Tegan let him to keep the lead really might be the reason why Mind Killer is here, because it backed them up a good amount, and here he is.
He's there now. He's right there on the back bumper, the 41.
The final 4 under a blanket. What an image we've got here.
Oh, the 88's looking to maybe... He really caused a separation there between the 4 and the 41, actually. Wow.
And he's looking to go around the outside here. Michael Fox, the Mind Killer, the 88, around to the outside of the 41. Can he make this move work? Predator had a very good corner.
Yeah, I agree.
He goes for the outside again.
It's just his bread and butter right now.
It doesn't seem like it's working a pass, though.
No, that's where I say the bottom has too much center momentum.
He dives it under the 41.
No contact, though.
And we got a battle for 5th right now, and side by side, the 95 and 24, and the 20 is right behind them.
Man, you could definitely say that the final 4 is just going to be race between... the non-Final Four drivers are just going to let these guys go at it. They're not even going to put a hand in the basket.
Well, last year Tegan Jones won the championship and the race. 2 years ago, Smoke Zemog won the championship, but Brett Russell, Katie won the race in actually a dominant fashion.
Yeah, very dominant fashion, and that's where I say the secret was starting to get figured out about that bottom lane. He was the one that ended up hitting on it. Tegan found it in the National Series that year, and then Katie ended up using that to his advantage and ran it all race, and you could definitely tell he was top-notch car that race.
Oh! Whoa! Bradley on the apron, and Mindkiller's going to go around the outside all of them. Will the 88 take the lead? Mindkiller from 0 to hero. He takes the lead at Homestead. 41's got damage.
Oh, man. Oh!
Bradley is very loose right now.
Very, very loose, and I don't know where the 88 was able to get that run, but oh my lord. Puts him, he was all the way in the back, sitting dead last. And
he's loose, he's almost going to spin out! The 88!
The long run is starting to come into play, and you can definitely tell the 4 has that long run car.
And the 88 pitting this lap. 88 coming down now.
So 88's in now.
88 in pit road. 95's pitting. On board with Bradley.
I think the 4 is starting to figure out what Mindkiller was kind of doing. He's kind of doing the same thing now.
He's been very, very good with his arcing the corner, and Bradley is
almost wrecking it again.
Bradley's going to spin out here. You assume he's got to pit this lap.
I would assume he's got to pit now, or the next lap he is washing it away now with that with that loose spot as he is coming down. Oh no, he's not.
He stays out another lap, and he's lost a lot of ground to the 41 and 4.
He has lost a lot of ground, and that's going to hurt him. But the 41's also lost a crap ton of ground to the 4 too.
The 88 is coming out of the pits right now.
So he's now a lap down.
Yeah, he will be a lap down. Most likely would cycle into the lead. Will anybody pit this lap?
Looks like the 12 is. He is
12's pitting. Bradley pitting now. Very conservative on entry. He might lose some time there.
I think it's the safest option is to play that conservative route.
But if you're Bradley in this situation, you're about 10 car lengths behind the 41 now, out of his draft, and now you're being conservative on pit road. You're only giving yourself incentive to lose time.
I agree with that, but it also could be where guys like the 41 or the 4 who are very aggressive entering, they can get it down there. The
Predator pitting.
Very conservative route, too.
Yeah, he was pretty conservative there. I think he was a little more aggressive than Bradley, but now we'll wait and see when the 4 comes down.
4 is not playing into those other guys' games. He stayed out longer than all of them. Very weird strategy, but I don't know if he's able to put time more on him or he's just that confident in his car. Because we know the 88 has probably gained more time on him now as he's before he even pits. Here's the car starting to slow down. He's
Tegan's coming down.
Perfect entry.
That's about as good as it gets right there. He could have maybe been a little more aggressive, but he chose not to, probably for the better of it.
I agree.
Mindkiller gets his lap back. Let's see where they are in comparison to each other. 88 going into 1. 41 12. Coming off right now, and 12 looks like he will pass the 41, potentially off a 2 here.
Here's the 4, one of the more consistent pit crews here. Let's see if he gets that same route. Because if he can, he might be able to get enough time to where he's not too much farther behind the guys that he's
We'll see where he comes out here.
Here he comes.
Where's the 88?
I think he's right there.
88's right there. 88 passes the Mindkiller in the lead. Where will the 12 and the 41 come out in comparison to him? Tegan, wow.
Tegan might actually have them beat.
That's strong right there. Tegan comes out second.
On the freshest tires, too. Very interesting. Freshest tires. He's gonna
Michaeler, is he in the fence? Almost.
Tegan on the freshest tires. I think this is gonna bode trouble for that 88, who is the first one out of those guys to even pit.
That's where the undercut benefits him. You have a lot of guys here that have accolades. Bradley has been in the Final Four in 3 consecutive years. Predator is a former Xfinity, or National Series regular season champion and Daytona 500 winner. Bradley, as I didn't mention before, also Daytona 500 winner. And Tegan, he won the 2019 National Series championship. He was the 2020 Cup Series champion. He's looking to go back to back, and Mindkiller was the Truck Series champion 1 year ago.
You could definitely just all those guys with big accolades, massive accolades. Like you said, you have Daytona 500 champions in here with obviously the 41 and the 12 and winning it. The 4 looking for back-to-back championships here. Mindkiller, a Truck Series champion, but this is his first go-around for a Cup Series championship.
A great rookie season for the 88. He has 7 wins and a Final Four berth here, and we'll see if he can.
As he will win Rookie of the Year almost easily.
Well, depending on the 41, I believe is he considered a rookie?
I don't know, but I would give it that the 88 with those 7 wins has taken the cake with it, really.
On board with the 12, he's lost a considerable amount of ground to the 4.
I agree.
And now it's Tegan's job, that Jones boy, to chase down the 88 of Mindkiller, and this is what the championship could be looking like here.
I agree. I mean, I thought it was going to be the 12 and 4 show, and at the beginning of the race.
Mindkiller, is he going to be around? He's very loose off of turn 2.
And look who's coming in. The guy that's been dominant all year. 16 wins in that 4 car.
Almost half of the season has been won by this man right here, driver of the 4 car.
Tegan's just hot on his trail now. Oh, wow, look at that gap between him, the 12 and 41, and then the 4. Wow.
Yeah, the 4 is really pulling away from them. He just clearly got the better of them.
Definitely with those fresher tires, you can see where Tegan is just top notch.
And if you're the 12 and the 41, you're probably hoping for a caution right about now because you lost a lot of ground to the 88 and the 4. And you could get it here. We got the 95, 24, and 20 still under a blanket. These guys have been having an incredible battle throughout this race.
It's awesome to see that those guys are able to make a battle but not cause any trouble to the Final Four guys. But you can see, 88 almost hitting the wall there. You can see who's got the best car right now, and it's clearly by far the 4.
Tegan Jones, 16 wins this year.
He has ran down that 88. He's maybe a second and a half back.
And you would assume that helps that he has about 4 or 5 lap pressure tires.
Yes, I fully agree. I think those fresher tires are just way too good for him, and it's clear as day. I mean, and that 12 and the 41, I think they know they have to work together, but I don't think their tires are going to be able to match up to what the 4 have, and the 88 is going to end up losing a lot of time as Tegan's probably now a second back behind him.
And you to look at this, and I would say the 12 and the 41 are probably hoping that when the 4 and the 88 get with each other, they're going to battle because that's their best chance of getting back into this race.
I agree. I think they're hoping for a battle, and I don't know what Tegan's mindset is, but I think he wants to get the lead, get a little bit more of a gap so that when Mindkiller pits again, he doesn't have that gap on him.
Speaking from experience, I pitted 1 lap after Gary in the National Series Championship race. I came out of the pits 2.5 seconds behind him and got to him within about 10 laps. So that's how big either my pace over him was or the tires are, but I think I was a little faster than him. We won't go into that, but
yeah.
It's very interesting to see how the draft could play out with this and the tire situation, because now I think we're probably approaching the evening out period where the 88 and the 4 could be a little more even.
I agree, and maybe not as even as what the 88 wants, but it's at least somewhat even to where maybe the 4 is starting to slow down a little bit.
And the 4 is still catching him, but not at a rate that he was before.
Yeah, not at the rate that he was catching him, but man, he's really nicked down that time, maybe to about an eight tenths of a second.
And the 8 is running that middle lane around here, and the 4 is right on the white line.
You could see where the white line's starting to play a factor into this game, in this race now. It's clear as day where the preferred line is.
And you know, the 12 and 41, they're not out of this right now.
They are not out of it, but man, they are considerably far behind.
They can still see their competitors, though, and I would say that's a good thing. And if battling commences or mistakes are made, then you got to assume that.
I would assume that they would get right up into the picture again.
They'd be sitting in the catbird seat, exactly.
You can see, oh, my killer extremely tight there. He's going to have to let out of the gas. It's going to allow Tegan to get a little bit more time on him.
On board with Tegan, defending champion.
Man, he's barely even out. It sounds like he's not even out of the throttle that much.
You wonder how loose his setup must be then if he's really not out of the throttle. A little more off throttle time there, it sounded like, but...
Yeah, definitely. But it just doesn't sound like he's off the throttle as much as those guys, and he's able to keep it way straighter. Here, let's listen here.
Yeah, he really gets on the throttle at the perfect time.
Yeah, it's not misdetermining his throttle points.
No, he is not.
He is on point right now.
And Spencer is hoping for a cigarette to be thrown on the track and get a caution.
Very nice. I mean,
I don't know if that would cause a caution, but
it probably would because it's debris on the track. But could have had a beer can.
He could have. But you've raced around the 4 car all year this year, and I have in many different leagues and series. But what makes him so good?
I couldn't tell you. He must have been hammering it on the past, especially after coming off an off season last year where he was a champion. He must have worked even harder to get to where he is with 16 wins, and I mean he just keeps improving, and he's just hard to beat. He knows what to do at every track and how to win there and everything like that.
It seems like he is a lot more consistent than everybody else. He's always running a good line, not making any mistakes. That's really the difference in a lot of these races is mistakes, because some guys are similar on speed, but
can't stay consistent.
Tegan doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah,
hardly ever.
Like you could be consistent with, if you are wanting to beat Tegan, you have to be consistent with him. If you are not consistent with him, he will end up beating you pretty quickly. And that's where we talk about consistency. This is where my killer is able to kind of keep Tegan at bay. Until my killer makes a mistake or gets loose, Tegan's going to be at bay as of right now to my killer.
Yeah, he's still gaining on him, but not as much as he was when he had
I don't even know
extremely
if he's
fresh
gaining
rubber.
as much. Oh, see, there's the problem. This is where I talk about mistakes. Washing up the track is going to be one of them. Tegan will key on where you're making your mistakes, and he will make sure that he hits that corner quickly and end up beating you.
And as we head to our very, very exciting 5th place battle, these 3 are still all around each other.
Are they really?
24, 95, 20. They're under a blanket right now.
Oh my gosh. So this is the battle for the non-playoff drivers win right here. Non-Final Four driver win here.
95 is apparently pretty frustrated right now.
I don't know why. I mean,
it's a good battle between these guys. They've been around each other the entire time.
Yeah, it's crazy. I would be ready to watch a battle for the lead here. My killer's starting to lose a little bit more ground, and Tegan's gaining.
One thing we didn't discuss was the 41 and 12 actually swapped. Now the 41 is running 3rd, and the 12 is not.
They're just not able to get to them though. You can see the gap on them, and it's just crazy to think how much they've put a gap on how the 88 and 4 put so much of a gap on them.
And I think that goes back to pit entry.
I could see where it is. Tegan was pretty aggressive, but not too aggressive. My Killer was aggressive, and they both timed it down. But you could see where the 41 and 12, the conservative side, kind of end up biting them a little bit.
The overhead camera, Mind Killer, he gets right down to that white line and washes up the track, right to the wall. Uses all
right
of the track.
4's on him now. He's got the draft.
Here comes the 4, Tegan Jones. What lane will he use to try to pass?
I think he's going to do the same thing that he did last time in the draft. Arc it up a little bit, get out of the draft, able to get his nose down. He's right there. Oh, he's going to... The pass will commence soon unless he wants to ride. It looks like maybe he wants to ride a little bit.
He's comfortable sticking behind the 88. 88
I don't think...
way up the track right now. He's got to get out of the gas and not hit the wall.
And this is where we have a... Oh, I don't even know who led that lap. Might have been.
They will be side by side in 1 and 2. 88 around the outside. The 4 down low. And this is what the 41 and the 12 want to see.
Oh, Tegan made the pass.
Can Tegan clear him? He's not going to clear him. He's just there.
Tegan will get him next corner. This is where the 41 and 4 and the 12 wanted this battle to commence a little bit longer. But I think right here is where Tegan's going to end up clearing him. And that is correct. He's going to end up clearing him right here.
New leader. Defending champion, that Jones boy. The 4 car.
Tegan Jones, new leader. And right now, odds-on favorite to win this championship right now.
And I would assume we're going to be entering another pit stop sequence soon.
Should be very soon here for another pit stop sequence here. My Killer is starting to get a little bit looser behind Tegan, but not too much, but we'll see where My Killer starts feeling the little bit of trouble there.
The 41 had a bit of an issue off of 2 there, and Bradley retook position number 3.
See, I just thought, that conservative entry, and like how I brought up the fact that the 12 had that issue early on in the run where he was too loose, and then the 41 just, I don't know if he has, I don't think he has a long run car to hold up with what the 4 and the 88 have, which are 2 extremely powerful long run cars.
And the 88 really using the draft of the 4 really well, because he's got probably 5-6 laps maybe older tires than the 4, and he's using them to their fullest and trying to stay in the draft of the 4 car to stay in touch
but you
with
can
them.
see where the 4 is starting to kind of dwindle his gap a little bit in the turns, and he's starting to spread it out a little bit more, and where the 88's able to kind of get back to his back bumper, but it's not to where he can sustain a move.
Will the 88 try to make a move here? We might have a battle for the lead here.
I don't think he will. I think he knows that his tires, you keep beating them up and all that, and let the 12 and the 41 keep getting to you. I think he doesn't battle here. I think he just stays behind Tegan. Oh, is that a little bit of looseness coming? Oh, a little loose for the 4 too.
Now you're at the point of the run where everybody's car is probably not going to be handling the way they want it.
No, very, very old tires. They're not going to stick very well here, especially
41.
with this rough surface.
41 really struggling here. 88 coming down now. Mind Killer into the pits. How was his entry, Ryan?
It was pretty good entry. A little aggressive, but he was able to probably get it slowed down to where he's not caught speeding.
95 pitting.
Now look at that gap between the 4, 12, and the 41. Those guys really need a caution bad, and I don't know where they're going to be able to get it at.
Tegan arcing this corner beautifully, and as we hear over the scanner, the signature controller bang of Spencer Boyce. I assume that he's done.
Let's see here.
Is he done? He's pitting, it looks like.
He's in the pits. Let's see if he comes out. Yeah, it looks like he's coming out. Until I see a ghosted car in his pit stall, I'm assuming he's still going. My Killer coming out.
Spencer Boyce. Oh, he's coming out. Spencer didn't quit.
No. Spencer's coming out. 88 just came out a little bit ago.
Now our biggest battle on the track is probably the 12 and the 41 for position number 2. And if I'm these two, I have to be aggressive in pit road.
I fully agree here.
Looks like these two might be pitting this time.
Too conservative.
Bradley in. Yeah, he's very conservative.
That was a little conservative. He's getting it down a little further earlier than what the 88 and what the 4 have been doing. I think the 41 will follow suit here and pit after the 12 pitted, and then vice versa.
41 sputtering sounds like.
Oh, he's got to pit now then. He has to pit now.
Maybe he wasn't, I'm not sure. His engine didn't sound totally right. 41 coming down now, and again, I think he was a little bit soft on that entry. Now we await the pit stop for the 4.
And these guys cannot be soft on their entry. They just can't.
Tegan riding right on that seam. Does he come in?
No, he does not.
Stays out another lap.
I don't know. That's very weird, because if he's staying out it a little bit longer, is there a possible call where maybe fuel might be somewhat involved in what Tegan's doing?
I think he potentially could make this on probably one less stop in the field if he really, really commits to this.
I agree.
And he's found a way to really save fuel and not lose much speed. It's impressive.
It is very impressive.
Does he come down? And he is. He's coming down.
He is in. Very nice pit stop.
Good entry from the 4.
Very good entry. I agree.
88 now will get his lap back, and he has a lot of space to the next car behind him. Got the 12, almost a full straightaway behind him. You assume this comes down to the 88 and the 4.
Yeah, I fully assume the 88 and the 4 are the ones to beat now. Wick especially.
We'll see where Mind Killer is in relation to where the 4 car exits. How much of a gap do you think he'll have?
We'll see here. Because he's coming out now. Here comes the 88. It's not going to be too much of a gap there. The 4
well, maybe it will be.
Well, it's not going to be too big, because there's the 12 right now. No, about the same. Maybe a little smaller, actually.
I think that's a bigger gap, honestly. He's got a lot of time on him.
He tells me he's pushing his tires. You know what that means? Tegan's not going to have to push as hard.
We'll see what happens. Mind Killer could have some tire fall off. We're going to go on board with Tegan to see what he's doing to try to catch that 88.
Those guys are still under a blanket, by the way.
Let's check them out. 95 and 24 are right with each other. 20 is actually ahead of him. Incog. Strong performance for him today. They're on a different planet than the rest of the field, but
I agree.
or than the playoff guys, but they are. I assume they're having fun. And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters today for those guys. Is just to have a little bit of fun at the end of the year.
On board with Tegan, he really does a great job getting down to that white line.
He really does, but Mind Killer does the exact opposite. Does a very nice job getting up towards the wall and not hitting it.
88 running that bottom as well, and
he just can't hook it as well. He just can't hook it as well as what the 4 can.
That's a strategy, though, because if you can really kind of like peak, mill, corner at the bottom and let your car wash up the track, you actually might gain a little bit of speed. So it has its benefits, but Tegan's catching him. S'mores looking for a pass here on the 95 of Spencer. S'mores make the overtake.
Wow, my killer's gotten extremely loose. And Tegan's closed that gap by half at least. Crazy.
Is it surprising though? I mean, Tegan's got fresher tires and probably a little bit better of a car.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got a better car.
Seems like the 41 is experiencing some severe fall off, and the 12 just kind of trailing everybody else right now.
I think really the 41's having the biggest fall off problem more than anybody. I think the 12, if the 12 was closer to the 4 and 88, it would be definitely a three-way battle. I think the 12 is as fast as these guys. 41 just is struggling way too much now.
And Incog has really pulled away from this little group right here, and 95 and 24 battling.
Speaking of which, that car that we're speaking of, that 20 car is no longer going to be owned by Mr. Incog.
Yeah, Ryan, what is he doing next year?
He, as of right now, would be owning if we were going to 21, would be owning Trackhouse, if I'm not mistaken. But it seems to me like he's going to own Chip Ganassi at this point in time.
He was planning on owning Chip Ganassi, Trackhouse, and Richard Petty Motorsports, but now it's just Chip Ganassi and actually JTG Doherty Racing. He'll be driving the one car, I believe, next year, and he's actually recruited the current leader, the 88 of Mindkiller, to his team for next year.
I heard and that is a very good thing for Incog because that gives him a little bit of power on his team. Incog's a decent, consistent driver, easily could be top 5 all week, each week, and the 88 is, like we said, boom or bust on strategy, but he's always in for the win almost every week.
Very much so. As Hendrick Motorsports will take over new ownership next year, Bradley will be owning the... Yeah, it'll be a totally new team. Who's going to be on that team, Ryan? I wonder who.
Well, it's we got the obviously the number 12 driver right now of Bradley, the 41 of Predator. Oh, and the guy that's also broadcasting with me, the lovely Mike Man.
That is me. I will be driving the 9 car next season, and out of the Final 4, only one guy actually will be staying in this car next year, and that's Tegan. And I assume that it's been released that he plans to retain you, Ryan.
I plan on staying. That is
and
correct.
maybe
correct stature.
Some returns from past people in the league.
That is classified information.
It is classified, but we'll see in the coming days, weeks, months, who will be driving for Storehouse next year.
I agree. Be very interesting. And then another question mark is with certain teams is we've seen that obviously alliances for Chevy have come along with Sal and Matt.
Mm-hmm.
They will be taking over, I believe,
the 00 and the 13.
Of course,
and they will be aligning. Yes, of course. They will be aligning with Hendrick Motorsports as a satellite team, but it will be managed by me because technically as a driver I can't own another team, but just verbiage to say that I will be they will kind of be like my team, but not my team, if you understand what I'm saying.
And then no one knows what KLW is doing. I believe he's owning RCR next year.
Yeah, and there are rumors that he might let slip next week that Spencer could be a driver for him.
Yeah, Spencer slipped that out a little bit there, but I don't know if he's going to be taking over that car because the owner has not said anything about that fact yet. Wow, the 88 has that.
It's a big gap.
He pulled it there. What did he do to make his car better?
Or maybe Tegan is trying to save his stuff to make it on one less stop.
Maybe one less stop, or maybe forcing Mindkiller to save more because maybe Mindkiller can't.
Well, Mindkiller is out of options. He's already pitted way too early on his 2 stops to try to even think about making it on one less stop. I don't quite think Tegan will be able to do that, but it could be close.
I agree.
S'mores and Spencer still battle. Spencer's really running that way high up late. It's impressive that he's able to keep it going right now, but
Wow.
looks like S'mores is going to make the pass here maybe. Spencer stays on the
Wow.
outside. They'll be side by side into turns 1 and 2.
What happened to the 41? His fall off must have been extremely brutal to him because the 12 has put a gap on him.
Yeah, I think from what we've heard over the scanner, his car has gotten very tight. It seems like he really doesn't have a place on the track right now where his car feels comfortable.
And it just doesn't sound right for the 41.
Really, our only battle on the track right now, 95-24.
When the 88, oh, way up the track a little bit there, but maybe he's found something by doing that. Looks like he might have, because he's able to kind of allow himself to kind of pull away.
Tegan really has not gained as much as I thought he would, but maybe, as I said before, he could be saving his stuff.
Saving his stuff to kind of keep himself out a little bit longer. Something. I mean, we should be coming up around another pit stop here very soon.
Yeah, we definitely would be. This is a great, great track for multi-groove racing.
I agree. And that's one thing that I love about Homestead, that is multi-groove. As a 95 just got past the 24. They are still battling extremely hard.
They have been side by side about every time I focus on these two. I'm surprised Spencer has made it this long in the race, first of all. But
Yeah.
for him to have a battle in,
I think for sixth or seventh, sixth and seventh respectively. I think Clog has pulled away from those two because they are battling like maniacs.
yeah, honestly, maybe the 88 is actually gaining a little bit of time.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if Tegan's just battling something and he's keeping it extremely quiet.
What do you think is the 88 doing so good right now?
I think he just maybe found something to where he's able to hold the bottom lane a little bit better, and then able to bring it up a lot higher and keep that momentum going as he comes off the hill.
Yeah, the 88 really strong right now. He's really using that bottom lane to his advantage now, using all of the track, washing up right almost about a half of a car length off of the wall.
Yeah, it's very close, and he's not messing around. Like, he's trying to make sure that gap is big enough to where they can't do anything.
The 12 has entered a different continent than the 41 now. 41 can't even see him anymore, and he's really struggling right now.
Yeah.
He's in the fence.
Oh, wow.
41 in the wall in the middle of 1 and 2 right there. Really, really off the pace.
Yeah, very off pace. He just doesn't have the pace. Doesn't
Got
have
no
it. I mean,
pace.
he cannot. You can't even see Bradley on his watch. I mean, that's how much he's struggling. You can hear he's tight, everything.
And Bradley, the guy in front of him, can barely see the 2 leaders. So,
But at least he can see those two guys. I mean, Predator can't see his competition anymore.
gap staying about the same between Mind Killer and Tegan.
He's kind of pulled it back in a little bit, but not much.
And the 88 paying homage to Jimmy Johnson here tonight, running his 2006 through 2008 scheme where he won 3 consecutive championships en route to winning 5 in a row.
That's just awesome. I mean, for him, for how well Mind Killer's performing tonight, especially with how much his tires should be worn out by now over Tegan's, to keep that gap steady or even gaining at some points on these tires is absolutely insane.
And Tegan also paying homage to Busch as a sponsor for the NASCAR Busch Series. Kevin Harvick was the 2001 and 2006 Busch Series champion, and interesting to
Tegan's trying
see
to
some
become the 20
championship
and
cars here. Yeah,
yeah, and Tegan's trying to be the 2020 champion and go back to back with the 20 being the 2021 champion.
and he would have 3 consecutive championships in CFNL.
That is just insane. He won it 2 years ago in the National Series after a very, very good performance where everyone had written him out at that point. Everyone had written him out at that point, and everyone was going to say it was going to be a 9-18 battle of Predator and Weasel at the time. But Tegan managed to find something after struggling in the
88
second round of
coming
the
down.
playoffs.
Really, really good pit entry from him. We'll see if he sped or not, but that was very good if he didn't.
If he did not pit, Tegan's got to match that. Tegan has to match that big time. But if the 88 pitted and sped, that is his championship right there, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think he'll be able to bounce back from that. Unless a caution comes out.
We have 37 to go right now. Mindkiller pitting now. He'll have to take one more stop. Will Tegan have to do that?
I don't think so. I truly don't think so. Tegan stays out.
He has to go 7 more laps. 36 to go now. If he can make it to that 30 to go.
88 did not speed. Wow. What a pit stop. What a pit entry right there for the 88, but he needs that one.
95 is out of gas. 24 pitting as well. We'll see how long it takes for the 4 to come down. Believe we're somewhere around 35 to go, maybe. Yeah.
Because they only get, what, 31 laps of fuel, give or take?
30.
That, man, he's got to keep going.
It's going to be close. Because I think his best chance at beating the 88 is making it on one less stop than him. And we think he'll probably be right on that mark of making it.
He'll be maybe a lap, maybe not even that short.
His challenge is trying to make it to the 30 to go.
That's his challenge, but I think he can do it.
We'll see if he can.
Staying out a little bit staying out a little bit longer.
When will the 12 and the 41 pit? 12's coming down now. It looks like he'll probably be out of it on a fuel mileage standpoint. 41 remains on the racetrack.
Yeah.
As we get closer and closer to that 30-lap mark, we'll find out if the 4 car has enough to make it to the end on one more stop. Mindkiller, the 88, he will have to take another stop. He's already pitted. Looks like the 4 was maybe teasing a pit entry there, but did not. We wonder when the 41 pits.
Because if Tegan's able to reach that 30-lap mark and is able to save that much fuel, he's going to be your 2021 champion, ladies and gentlemen.
41 stays out.
Wow. 41's trying to fall a little bit.
Four cars still on the track. 41, does he pit? The 12 and the 88 have already pitted. Predator could be trying to make a little bit of a strategy play to make it on the same amount of stops as Tegan. He stays on the track.
It's going to be extremely tough for him to stay out much longer.
And we hear an uh-oh from the 41, and I think that he might be out of fuel.
I think he might be.
Yeah, he's out. When will Tegan pit?
I don't know. Because he's about 29 We're about, what, 20, 30, 29 to go?
I think we're around that 31 to 30 lap to go range.
I hear that slowing of the car. He's coming down now.
Believe he'll be able to make it on fuel from here. But it will be close.
It will be extremely close, but the 88 has to save himself. And running that high lane is not what he needs to be doing right now.
I don't think the 88 has a choice to save. I think he should try to split this as close as he can. But he's going to have to pit again, really, regardless of what he does.
I agree.
Oh, there is another controller slam from Spencer. What will happen with the 95?
Let's watch here, ladies and gentlemen. 41's coming out. 95 not in the pits just yet. Nope. He's fine. I think he actually uses a wheel, so I don't know what he's actually smashing there.
I believe he's smashing his controller that it has to be on while you're using your wheel, and it sounds like he's just throwing it at from what I can hear, appears to be a hardwood floor, which, first of all, is not good for the controller or the floor.
His controller hasn't broken yet. Good lord, what the bug?
I would bet it has.
And we see that 88 has a massive gap on that 4, but man, fuel's gonna be one hell of a killer for
And now Predator is actually not running fourth. It looks like he's in the midst of this 24 and 95.
Interesting. So he's actually farther behind. And
now he's
right
in
there.
P6. And Incog up to P4. And you assume Tegan is just going to ride comfortably right now.
I think right now he's going to completely ride it right now. I think he's got the car.
Apparently there's a little contact between the 41 and the 24, but nothing comes of it.
I'm going to watch that 41. There might have been a little bit of contact. I'm not too sure, but it's a wait and see.
The 4 car really doesn't have to gain much on him. He just has to try to save his stuff and make it to the end. We'll go on board with him here. And how hard will the 88 drive?
He cannot drive too hard because he is way short.
But if he's way short, he's might as well try to drive as hard as he can and get a stop in here.
Yeah, you got a point, but it's going to be... He needs to either put a gap on, but he needs to also understand that this is a championship. You might want to save here, maybe just to give yourself a chance.
We listened to it in the corner. It sounds like he's staying in 4th gear and not going into neutral.
That's not good at all.
Lap traffic could play a factor. We got, looks like, the 41 and the 24.
The 95...
Excuse me, the 95 and the 24.
95, 24, then the 41 possibly could be in that mix.
And look at this. The roles have been reversed. The 24 is usually on the inside and the 95 on the outside, but 95 makes a pass on the inside.
Okay, this is just so confusing. Who's top and who's bottom?
Now we're back to what we are. Homeostasis between the 24 and the 95.
They have just been even all race.
And S'mores clear him off a 2. It's going to be close. Oh, they're going to make contact. 24 is lagging.
Oh no, I don't think those championship. I don't think the top 2 championship 4 guys do not want to hear that. Tegan's closing in that gap a little bit, little by little. Mindkiller cannot get momentum off that top lane like he was earlier in the race. It's just not there. He cannot get it to go. Tegan's been closing in every inch. I mean, he's probably about again, another second and a half back, maybe 2 seconds, but that sounds like a little bit of a reach.
Is the 88 saving? We know Tegan's actually really catching up to him a good bit here.
I think the 88 might be trying to save, but why on the top?
Doesn't make sense. We hear an "oh shit," excuse my language, from Incog in the party chat, and as he is on the apron.
Nice little Incog hot mic right there. Is the 95 and the 24 still in a blanket right now?
Oh yeah, they are. They're side by side coming off of 4. What a battle between these two. Spencer does an incredible job actually racing people when he's not tossing his paraphernalia around his racing area.
I mean...
Whoa, contact! Car on the wall, 24-95. They both keep it straight, though. We won't have a caution.
That would have been an absolute heart... That probably had been an absolute heart attack for the 88 and the 4. An absolute heart attack.
And that would have been a blessing for the 41 and the 12.
That would have been a massive blessing for the 12, especially. I don't think the 41, unless he gets way aggressive, can stick with the 12, 4, and 88.
But you know he'd be willing to do that.
No, he would be willing to do that, but make a lot of enemies going into next season. And I do, especially with the team owner, that's not a good look on him. That'd be not a very good look at all on him.
The 4 is tracking him down.
Tracking him down ever so slightly. I mean, Mindkiller running this top lane makes no sense to me.
I don't really get it, honestly. It's not the shortest way around the track, which if you're trying to save fuel, you probably should do. And it doesn't seem like he's pushing as hard as he had to.
No, I don't think so either. Maybe he's trying to wait. Look at this! In front of him.
95 and 24 are side by side.
Insane.
And the 88 and the 4 might be side by side.
I think the 88's getting a little free now. I think it might be a little bit of a worry time for the 88 now with that 4 right up under him.
Maybe he wants to get in the draft of the 4 to try to save some fuel.
That'd be a definite good call by him. Side by side now. Tegan enters low. Mindkiller goes to pinch a little bit. Actually helped Mindkiller out there a little bit.
Yeah, really good corner from Mindkiller. He
race for the championship, right? Race for the championship right in front of us right now.
And we got a race for position number 6 also. Yeah. Right in front of them and side by side all over the track. A lot of action here, and we might have a battle for the lead.
We do. Well, look at this. A little bit of contact. A little bit of door contact right there. Tegan enters the corner. Does Mindkiller go to pinch? He does. Mindkiller's able to pinch him a little bit, which is enabling him to get that momentum pull, but Tegan's able to just stay right there. It's only a matter of time till Mindkiller just washes up just a tad bit too high. And there it is.
95 pitting. Is he pitting? No, he's not. It looked like he was, but he got very loose off of turn number 4.
Tegan just led that lap right there. Does Tegan go in to push it here to try to clear?
Really? He doesn't seem like he's able to pass him right now.
He does not, but he's right there at his door now, and oh, way better corner for Tegan there. Way better corner. Able to stay side by side there for a little bit. Oh, Mindkiller's not able to clear him at all. They're on that front straightaway. That is not a good sign.
And it seems like the bottom's a little better maybe in 3 and 4.
Oh, Mindkiller washing up big time there.
Is he going to be into the wall? He stays off of it.
But he cannot keep doing that because it's just hurting him more and more as this race goes on. As this heavy battle for the lead, for the championship here. Do we have a rookie win it, or do we have a 2-time champion back-to-back?
That would be the first multi-time champion in a series in CFNL history. And if anybody's going to do it, it should be Tegan Jones. 16 wins in a season is historic.
I agree. Check what laps we are on to go here.
I was planning on it in a second.
Okay. Side by side.
Yeah, they are side by side, Ryan. How hard do you think these guys are racing right now?
Oh, I think they're racing everything they got. I think Mindkiller's knowing what he's in for now, and it's a tough race. I mean, kind of boat. Oh, 24 definitely lagging big time here. It's like Vogue to what happened last year in the National Series Championship, where it was between me, Trainer, and Mud especially came in with a very, very fantastic race, and actually took the lead from me in the last stage last year. Then a mistake happened, but that race was a tough one, and
that was just
so
12 laps to go, and they are worried about the lag maybe of the 24.
I would agree. I think they should be. As the 4 passes the 88 for the lead. Coming to 11 to go here.
Mind Killer running that middle lane again. It's not as effective in 3 and 4. But does he have enough fuel?
That's the better question. Do these guys have enough fuel to make it? With how hard they are pushing it, especially Mind Killer, I think they might.
I really don't. I'm not sure what he's doing, if you want me to be honest.
I have no clue. If we think he's short on fuel, why is he pushing it like he is?
You really question it, and you kind of question why he didn't pit earlier to try to split this last run a little more evenly.
I agree, but I think he knew he was going to lose a lot more time and actually be a lap down on Tegan, as Tegan passes Mind Killer's teammate.
This is 10 to go now. We are in the final 10 laps of this CFNL Cup Series season.
Will it be the 88 or the 4, as this is where the race comes down? Oh, 95 extremely loose. Does he
and
keep
the
it?
88 too! We got people all over the backstretch right now.
Besides the 4 and the 24. Go figure. The two guys that don't have the only cars on the front stretch or back stretch that keep it straight are the guys with 4s on their car. I had a stroke there.
That's 9 laps to go now.
9 laps to go. I mean, it looks like if Tegan just keeps that gap and keeps gaining, it's pretty much in the back for him.
You assume he is about on cruise control right now. 95 again, very loose off of turn number 2.
I think he's on cruise control unless that 88 ends up finding something to do there. As they should, as Predator's not nowhere
he's
to
pitting.
be seen. Oh, he's pitting.
88 in the pits.
Pits. It looks like the 4 is going to take. Looks like the 4. Unless these two guys behind him have to pit, but it looks like the 4. As of right now, unless he has to pit too.
Does he have to pit? I believe that was 8 laps to go.
And he saved a lot. And I would assume
this decision right here really makes you question the tactics of the 88 right now.
I agree. I think you should have split it, definitely. Not run it out and hope for the best. But, that's what happens.
7 more laps
of this season. And if anyone deserves to be a champion this year, it's definitely the 4 after a dominant year. Could have won all the races this year.
This would be his 17th win.
Unbelievable. 17th win for the championship. 6 to go, coming right up. Is that right?
It is right, and we are really, really curious on now if the 12 can save. He is just under a lap short right now. The 41 is chasing him down.
The 4.
Can Predator get to Bradley? Predator will be good on fuel. Will Bradley? 95 exiting pit road.
Here we go. Well, this will be 5 to go, coming right to the line. No more yellows allowed.
There will not be another caution this season. And barring a mistake from the 4 car, this is his championship.
Barring anything to happen to Tegan, he is going to be the champion this year. I mean, what a year.
20 car pitting. 20 car pitting. 24 pitting. And now 4 to go for the 4.
As you hear the crowd roar.
And this shows that even in a one race championship format, the cream rises to the top. He was the best driver last year, and he's been the best driver this year. And he is approaching 3 more times around for this championship.
This is just an immaculate performance. Tegan had the perfect strategy going into it, and as the crowd roars, as 3 to go comes around, crowd gets even louder.
Tegan Jones, 2019 National Series champion. He came from obscurity. Nobody expected him to win that championship. He did. He had an impressive performance at Homestead. We have some issues with the 41. He's battling with the 20. He's very loose right now back there. But Tegan was the 2020 Cup Series champion in dominant form. Drove in the 1 car that year, the 10 car, and the 4 car. About every car you could. 2 more times around. 8 corners to navigate.
What a crazy year for the 4. Absolutely.
We had a little bit of an issue. The 20 got very loose. Through 3 and 4 here. He has one lap to go. This is it. 4 more corners for the championship. Will Bradley run out of fuel? Who will battle for second for the championship? We know the 88 probably will be 4th.
And the 12 is pushing it now on the 41 here. They are racing hard.
The 41 is letting him go, apparently. And here we go. Out of turn 4! A dominant season! His 17th win! Tegan Jones is your champion as he does a burnout across the line almost. And now we look. Will the 12 or the 41 get second? Is Bradley out of fuel?
What a year for Tegan. What a year.
Congratulations to the 4. Who will be second in points? And Bradley's out. Bradley is out. The 41 Predator, he'll finish second. Bradley third. And maybe one of the fastest cars tonight, but just not there on strategy. Mind Killer comes home 4th. But congratulations to Tegan. He is a back-to-back Cup Series champion. The first multi-time champion in a series in CFNL history.
Craziness. Absolute craziness.
Hats off to him for the best season we've seen from anybody in this league.
I agree.
Tegan's the champion. Predator, impressive second. Bradley third. Comes up short yet again in Mind Killer. Last year's Truck Series champion is fourth. Tegan wins the championship by almost 30 seconds. Fastest lap was Morris. How about that? And I would say that we probably should get the champion in here. Ryan, can you add Tegan to this party? You got that, Ryan?
I'm still here.
Can you add Tegan to the party?
I can. But I gotta head out.
Okay.
So I'll let you condense the interviews, but I got it.
Thank you for helping me out, Ryan. And
no problem.
I will appreciate you adding Tegan to the party. I appreciate you joining me tonight. I know it was last minute, but I am very thankful that you were here, and I hope you had a good time tonight in the broadcast. As we await your champion, Tegan Jones. As I said, he's now a 3-time champion in CFNL, 1-time National, 2-time Cup Series. And it really was his race to lose today. He out-strategized everybody as he has done many, many times this season. Did you get him yet, Ryan? I am not getting any feedback right now, so I will do it myself here. We are now awaiting the arrival of the champion, the number 4 car. And what do you? We have to wonder what he has to say. It was a great performance by him tonight, and as he comes in here now, Tegan, how are you feeling? You are a back-to-back two-time Cup Series champion.
It feels pretty damn awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I had thoughts that I probably wasn't gonna win it tonight with the luck I've had this year with 16, 17 wins. So,
Yeah, and it was an impressive performance from you. How early on did you know that you had the strategy to win?
um, when the 88 pitted as short as he did, I knew that took him out of it. And then it just came down to when Bradley and Predator was going to pit. Bradley pitted 2 laps before I did, so that pretty much, you know, I felt good about that. And with Predator pitting a lap after that, if it come down to me and him, I figured then it would just come down to who had the most speed. So, and I felt like I had that too on the long run. So,
So probably your biggest challenge, even though he finished fourth in this race, was Mind Killer. What did you take from your battles with him?
I mean, I don't blame him. He battled me, for the lead, even though he knew he was going to have to pit again. I mean, he at least made it difficult, if I can say that right, and fun. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I had a better car than him too. I just I didn't have to show it. I knew he was going to have to pit, so I really saved gas on one run just so I can really be good on the long run and just flat footed around there if I needed to. And that's why I caught him as quick as I did.
So you've been teasing it for a little while now with your inner circle, but you changed your name today to that Jones Boy 4. What went into that?
Uh, I've been thinking about changing it anyway. GT kind of got old, and I don't know. It seemed like when I heard y'all say it, it didn't roll off the tongue too good. So I was joking with Bradley a couple weeks ago when I was in a chat and I was on the system just punching in names what I could change, and that one came to my mind with Eric Jones and stuff. So it was available with the 4 on it at least. So I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that here in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna wait till Homestead. Maybe it'll be a good luck charm, or it could have bit me in the ass. I mean, it could have been karma because it is kind of conceited a little bit and a little
It
bit
is.
cocky, but
A little bit.
it is, yes.
But if anybody's warranted to be cocky, it is you, because you won the 2019 National Series Championship, 2020 Cup Series Championship, and now you are the 2021 Cup Series Champion. How does it feel to actually win a title in CFNL in 3 consecutive years?
It was pretty good. I mean, the competition is there. I mean, I know I won 17 races, some of them probably on a little bit of luck, but majority of them were on speed. I really want to say that the biggest majority was on speed, to be honest. But I don't know. I was worried about this race. I thought it was going to be a caution fest, or I was going to screw myself in a speeding penalty or something. But after I realized I had the strategy, I realized I didn't have to push it on pit road after that. So I was pretty conservative on that too. So, well, yeah, it feels good. The 3 years in a row to be a champion at something. So it
And
may
what?
not be something that happens again.
Yeah, definitely. It would be a challenge for that to happen again. What do you think your hardest championship was? Was it this year, last year, or 2 years ago in the National Series?
Mm, I mean, they all had their little bit of issues. I mean, 2019, I was racing Weasel, and I know he's in here. That's why I bring it up. Um, Last year, I made a late move. Well, I made a move on Bradley after 5 to go, and he kind of made a late move to block it. So we kind of made contact, but that was a fuel mileage race too. So, you know, this year it was a little bit less stress after the strategy started playing out like it did. The only thing that started worrying you is I kept seeing 3 little dots stay around each other the whole race, and I don't know if y'all could hear it, but they were constantly getting loose around each other. So I was waiting for a yellow to come out pretty quickly, and I'm glad it didn't. Spencer done a good job. I kind of had to get on his case a little bit. And I know he probably hates me. He's probably gonna start calling me grandma or something, but that's fine. Grandma's got the trophy.
Yeah, he could. Grandma did get the trophy, but it was very interesting to see. On the first one, it looked like the 12 and the 41 and the 88. You all were there, and then as it went on, it seemed like you were maybe a little more aggressive on pit road. Do you think that's what got you that gap on after the first stop?
It is, I think. I know everybody's pretty conservative. I'm gonna tell you, I probably in the last 3 days I ran about a 250% race here. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I've practiced with two, one teammate, three teammates, and a stable, Ford camp teammate. So, uh, I had pretty good help with having lobbies to practice with. So, uh, shout out to them. They know who they are, so I'm not gonna mention any names.
I do know who they are. And what do you take from this in the next year? I mean, you really can't get. I mean, you could, but it would be really, really tough to get any better than this. 17 wins, regular season champion. It was close for that one, but and also a Cup Series champion. What are your goals for next year?
Next year is just win as many races I can before the playoffs, and then try to win them when I get in the playoffs because we're looking at 20 people next year, full-time drivers. So, and pretty much the competition is going to be really, really close and really good for next year. So, uh, I may, I may not be see double digits next year, which that's fine. You can't do it every year, so I'm happy with this season. I would have been okay if I didn't win the championship with 16 wins, but I'm glad I won the championship considering I had 17 wins. So, I mean, I can't complain about that. So I can't complain next year either.
Well, congratulations. It's the greatest season we've seen in CFNL and probably the greatest season we'll ever see. So, congratulations on a historic season, Tegan.
Thanks, Mike and Ryan.
No problem. Ryan's not here anymore, but yeah,
Well, did he
shout out
leave
Ryan.
early on you?
Yeah, he had to leave right after it ended.
Okay. All right, let me get out of here.
Thank you for joining us, and
You're welcome. Thank you.
congratulations.
Thanks.
Now we are going to get the second place championship driver of Predator in here, if we can. He was one of the underdogs coming into today, but turns out he actually had a good run, did well, got past that 12 car Bradley right in the last lap because of Bradley having not enough fuel to make it. And here is the second place points finisher. Congratulations on P2, Predator. How you feeling?
How about them boys? Boy, I mean, I feel good. I knew I wasn't gonna win the championship. I was calm, cool, collective, and I just wanted to go out there and I wanted to beat at least one person, and I did. I beat that one person and Bradley. So, congratulations, Tegan. I mean, I put it in our group chat. This being the last race for me in SHR. I wanted to thank him and congratulate him. He was the only person that took a chance on me. So for all the haters that told me I wasn't going to win, I won 2 races. And all the haters that told me I wasn't going to make the playoffs, I did. And all the haters that told me I wasn't going to make it to the Final Four, I finished second. So to one of the best. There was no way I was going to beat Tegan.
Yeah, it was going to be tough. He was quick, and he just is honestly a perfectionist. He doesn't make mistakes, and he finds a way to get around there perfect. Where do you think you lost the ground to him? We saw you struggling there later on in the final 2 runs of the race, but where do you think you lost out to Tegan?
I wasn't actually the second to last run, and I was in save mode. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to over jump. I wanted to jump Bradley, and I wanted to jump Bitchface. So, and I did. So, with me saving that much, that put me on the same. I mean, I should have pitted earlier because I ran out of fuel, but I should have pitted one lap earlier, and that would have stultified me to even maybe be in the same zip code as Tegan. But I mean, like you said, he's a perfectionist. So.
He's very, very hard to beat. And what do you take from this season into next year with you driving the 24 car for new owner Bradley?
Well, I mean, I always wanted to be with Bradley. He was a great spotter and great crew chief when I was in the Xfinity series, and I think we worked really, really well. So to have him as my teammate for the first time in our career, I think it's going to be beneficiary to myself
Beneficial.
more than it is to him. But yeah, that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm just so overwhelmed. I can't believe I finished second. Um,
Somebody cries every year. Could it be you?
Oh no! I mean, I'm fucking happy. I mean, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's two
Go say,
times
go say,
now.
you go ahead and
We
say
do
it.
not. Yep, we do not condone the language used by the number 41 car, Derek Jewett, and we apologize for it.
Um, but yeah, I just it's gonna be fun, especially having you as my teammate. And Weasel, you two have won championships. And you know Bradley's really good with setups and uh,
Car washes?
car washes. Makes his car squeaky clean, man.
Yeah.
Maybe that he needs to stop focusing on a clean car. He needs to focus on fuel strategy. So, but yeah, I think the four of us are a solid team. I always critique myself and doubt myself. I was my number one hater this year. And to walk away with 2 wins, I didn't think I was going to walk away with one. But to walk away with 2 and finish second, that gives me a lot of momentum in my mind to go out there and try to win more races. I don't know if I'm going to win a championship. I'm not going to say I'm going to win a championship. My goal is to win more races and have a shot to win a championship. But yeah, you know, it's gonna be fun next year. I can't wait. What are we? The Donda Boys.
The Dondonators.
Dondators, yeah, Dondators.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm hoping for good solid finishes next year. Stop finishing sixth every flipping race.
Thank you for saying
So
flipping.
yeah, I caught myself. But yeah, I can't wait. I want to get this Cole Custer shirt and hat off and throw it in the trash. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but yeah, I'm like I said, I'm super excited to have you as my teammate and Weasel, and especially Bradley. So it's gonna be a fun season to drive that 24. I'm not a Jeff Gordon fan. I'm not a I know that 24 means a lot to a lot of people, but I was a junior fan, and to drive on Hendrick Motorsports team, it means a lot because I like junior growing up. So
As a Jeff Gordon fan, that is a sacred number, and you best not disrespect it. And
it's the
position
same thing
number,
with the 8 and the 88. So
yeah, position number 2 in the points is nothing to be sad about, and as it seems you're in good spirits about it. And heading into this year with you kind of being an unknown, with you maybe not having a ride coming into this year, and Tegan, as you said, taking a shot on you, finishing second in points is a really, really good year for you.
I mean, let's be honest. I didn't think anybody put me on their list to even make the playoffs. So, especially after the season I had last year, not finishing it, and I mean, yes, I got 2 wins, but it took me a while to get those 2 wins. Where my first race back, what did I do? I won. I won Daytona. I had some pretty good finishes. I mean, Martinsville is probably one of the best tracks for me. Atlanta, same thing. Texas, same thing. So over the course of the last maybe 15, 16 races, I felt like I found myself. I found a good rhythm and figured out what I needed to do. So for Tegan to help me and show me what I needed to do, it's just building the puzzle. I need to find that final piece of that fuel strategy and saving my tires and saving my fuel, because obviously Atlanta was. Don't get me started on Atlanta. But yeah, yeah. I mean, how about that? I know a lot of people, especially that HMS camp that's no longer together. I know they're kicking themselves like, this kid This kid won 2 races, made it to the Final Four, and finished second. So, not a lot of JGR guys, and the list goes on. There's a lot of people that didn't like me, but they could suck it.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was never ever one of those people.
Oh, thank you.
And actually, it is pretty cool to see you. I basically was the reason why you were in this league, and it's definitely cool to see.
And it comes full circle next year.
And we'll be teammates again. I was your team owner in your first year, and now I'll be your teammate. And
now I won't be bothering you so much, being like, "Hey,
can I switch
you
series?
Send me the trucks.
Yep.
Give me." But yeah, I appreciate everybody that has supported me and has been there. So you were one of them. There's many times I wanted to quit just because of the people who just talk too much trash. So
Crash,
trash, crap, whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. So hopefully, like I said, same results. Hopefully a championship. But yeah, pretty cool. However, I do want to say this: Mind Killer, driver the number 88. I didn't get my payback, so you still owe me about 10 wrecks from this season. So I don't care if it's during the off season. I don't care if it's during the regular season. I don't even care if it's during one race. Just be prepared because I don't even know what car you're driving. Just I hope there's a target on it so I can hit it.
Well, that will be an interesting development next season, and I can say I'm a proud dad seeing you finish second in the points. Thank you for joining us, and have a good night, Predator.
Yep. One last thing, even though my sponsors aren't going to listen to this, but I want to thank Rowdy. I want to thank Lucky 13. I want to thank Phoenix Fit, and I want to thank Get Strong. Go check them out. Use discount code OT9Predator at checkout to save you from 15 to 25% off.
All right, that's enough out of you. Bradley's here. Thank you for joining us, Predator.
Yeah.
Congratulations on P2. And Bradley, you came in third tonight. What went into it? It seemed like the caution kind of threw you off your strategy and really negatively affected your race.
Yeah, that caution's what screwed me. I don't think I would have won anyways, but my strategy would have been a hell of a lot better than what it had to be. Glad I didn't stick to it after that caution because I wouldn't have made it. But you have cars in the back that just are trying to make moves on Final Four drivers on lap 7 and get loose and overcorrect and take out 2 drivers. That caution coming out, I think, screwed me out of at least a second place finish. But congrats to Tegan on winning the championship. I'll be back with vengeance next year. Hopefully end the season as champion next year, but if not, it is what it is. Just one driver's not going to like me for most of the season next year.
And I think that if anybody's watched the last 2 weeks of this Cup Series broadcast that we've provided for you, I think we'll probably be able to tell who that is. This is your 3rd year in a row in the Final Four, 3rd year in a row coming up short. What are you going to take from this? What's next?
Working on strategy. That's the ultimate reason why I lose these races. Tegan's really good at strategy and saving fuel somehow. I don't know how he does it.
Thank you.
But at least I didn't finish 4th this year. The previous 2 years I've finished 4th. Last year it came down to fuel strategy. Also got moved last year for the championship. The year before that, car felt good all week leading up to it, and the car in the race was just terrible. Kind of felt that way tonight, midway through the race, but it got better as it went on. Honestly, I probably would have. I would have finished in 3rd, but what helped me finish quicker than what I did at being out of fuel was 41 pulling in front of me and let me get a little bit of draft for a straightaway and a half before I start sputtering. But I learned a lot. Hopefully next year I'm better on strategy, and if I can get better at strategy, I think I can pull it off.
Yeah, what are your goals for next year? Like you have really, you've made the Final Four, but and a former Daytona 500 winner, but you could really say this was a career season for you. I mean, 6 wins, a 3rd place points finish. What are your goals for next season?
Well, there's a few drivers coming in that I know are going to be fast. It'd be great to shoot for that 6 wins again. But next year I want to shoot for at least 2 wins and make it back to the Final Four, if at all possible. Um, but like I said, I can win more of these races if I get better at strategy, and I think I'm going to do a lot of working on that this offseason to get better at strategy and be smarter with the moves I make. And hopefully that gets me back to the Final Four for the 4th year in a row next year. But if not, it is what it is, and I'll keep moving forward, and eventually I get myself a championship.
And I'd assume that you're happy that out of the four that were in the final four, that Tegan was the champion, right?
I mean, when you win like 16, 17 races a year, you deserve to be the champion. Um, and when you're that good at saving fuel and strategy, you're also deserving of the championship. Um, 6 wins was the third most wins this year. My killer had me by one. Wish I could have had a few races back. I think I could have had maybe 10 wins this year. But all in all, great year. A lot of poles, a lot of races where I finished top five. Um, Made a few enemies that may carry over to next year. Um, just don't get on my bad side. That's all I gotta say.
And we definitely saw that you shouldn't at Martinsville. Um, you are now. This is your first full season as the league president. What if you have like a State of the Union address or something to say? Like how do you view this season as president?
Um, Season went great, other than uh having to suspend a few people. Well, not really suspend a few, at least one. Um, Doing a dumb move. But other than that, I think season went by smoothly. Didn't really have a lot of bad things happen. Like it was a great season altogether for all three series. Wish we had a little bit more for the truck and national series. Um, but as president, I am saying that there is no longer a truck series next season. National series is still up in the air as we speak. But for sure next year we're staying on Heat 5 because new game's not the greatest at the moment. Um, but all in all, great season from everyone. Didn't really have to repeat myself with most drivers, maybe a few. But I think it was a great season. Congrats to Tegan again. Congrats to you, and congrats to David Wessel on winning the Truck Series championship. Three great champions. Two of the three are moving up to Cup next year to drive for HMS. Also, the driver that finished second tonight in the championship will be also going to HMS. So I think we have a powerhouse next year. Hopefully, we can go out and one of our drivers win the championship.
Yeah, I'm hoping that as well. Predator was talking about it. It's going to be a very, very cool team to have because you and Predator really have never been teammates, and you guys have wanted to for a while. You and I have been good friends for almost 4 years now, minus Phoenix in 2017. But we've were teammates for a short period of time, but have kind of always wanted to have more time as teammates. And Weasel has always been a really good racer. What are your expectations for Team Hendrick next year?
For Team Hendrick, got out strategize that four car for sure. Take some of his wins away. Uh, Goal be like the real life HMS.
Yeah, I mean it was a strong season for Hendrick Motorsports in the real NASCAR Cup Series. I believe they had how many wins this year?
I want
17.
to say something like that.
Yeah, 10 for Larson, 4 for Bowman, 2 for Elliott, and 1 for Byron. That does make 17. Good math on the fly, Michael. Um,
Hmm.
and you released the schedule not too long ago. There's some changes to it. Are you excited with? Are you happy with how the schedule came out for next year?
I am happy. There's only like 5, 6 tracks that we go back and repeat and run. Um, but every track that's in the game for NASCAR Heat 5, we will at least run once. Um, but I think it's going to be next season's going to be one of our best seasons uh, of this league since this league's been up. Um, Tonight or sometime this week, some rule changes will be made, and they will be announced hopefully soon. But other than that, I'm looking forward to next season. Looking forward to the team I have next year. Looking forward to trying to out-strategize that 4 car, which is extremely hard. But other than that, I had a great season. Glad that I didn't finish fourth this time in the championship 4. 1 spot better. Hopefully next year I can be 2 spots better.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if you do that. Thank you for your time, Bradley, and good luck next season.
Yep, you too.
And now we are going to get the 4th place driver from the championship here, Mind Killer, if he'd be kind enough to join us. He definitely had a quick car tonight, but really his strategy is where he kind of lost it, and that's where he gained a lot this season. We hope to get him in here momentarily to see his thoughts on it. He led a lot of laps tonight, a lot of time out front, and really held off Tegan well. Mind Killer, 4th place in the championship tonight, but you really just didn't have the strategy tonight, and it was honestly kind of surprising to us in the booth because strategy has really been something you've excelled at this year. What happened with that?
I don't know. It just wasn't with me today, apparently. Felt like I had the fastest car there, but I wasn't able to pull it off, unfortunately.
Yeah, you had a fast car. You were really able to not lose much time to Tegan whenever he had considerably fresher tires than you. What did you do that you thought made your car so fast?
I just run it as hard as I can. Just run nice and smooth. Not lose it is what was the hard part, and to not like run up into the wall a whole lot. I know I've been mostly there's been most parts of the race where I was up there running high. I felt good on the up there by the wall, and everyone else just seemed like basically about even with me, running low.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Did you you had 7 wins this year, and that's really impressive. You're going to be driving for Incog next year. What are you going to take from this year into 2022?
I just move on, try and do what I did this season, potentially do better if I can. And I thought I would have the win, but that whole fuel strat that just kind of threw my chances and hopes. At one point I was like, I'm gonna get this, but then I was like hearing how the fuel that Bradley and Predator was having, and even Tegan, I was like, oh, I ain't gonna get it.
Yeah,
It's
your
quite
speed is definitely
unfortunate.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. I've led most of the laps the whole race, and I really felt like I had it, but I just couldn't do it.
Well, 4th place, Final Four berth, not something to be
Yeah.
angry about. 7 wins. It was a pretty good season.
I ain't all too upset about it. I got 7 wins this season, and rookie of the season. I won that at least.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been giving Tegan a run for his money most of the season. I've done that for this race. Just pinching him down to the apron as much as I could without like letting him hit it and get up into me.
Well, thank you
Just
for
hope that I could do better is
yeah.
all.
It was an impressive season for you.
Yeah. Apparently I got to watch out next season for like one driver. Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah, there was somebody not too happy with you with maybe how you guys have raced. What did you make of that? Like, did you realize you and Predator had an issue?
On my end, I've done nothing wrong. It just seems like that he's been blaming me for some of the mistakes that he's done and some unfortunate moments. So I mean, in my eyes, I didn't really do anything wrong, honestly. So I mean, if something happens next season, I could retaliate.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really have much to say honestly. It's just, I've done all I could. I've had a great season for a rookie.
Yeah.
And, gonna move on to being a Incog's a teammate owner. Or no, teammate, he's gonna be my owner and I'm gonna, do what I can to, do good for his team and hopefully I can try and, get to the playoffs again and win the championship.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to
Yeah.
see if you do that. Thank you for joining me tonight, Mind Killer, and
Yeah, no
congratulations on your
problem.
4th place finish.
Yeah, thank you.
So that will conclude our interviews from tonight. It was a great championship race and a really, really, really impressive season for Tegan tonight, and I was happy to do it. This is my second Cup Series championship race I broadcast. Believe fifth in total championship race, maybe. Actually, I did more than that. It's probably like 7 by now. It's too much, but we'll see what happens with the Truck Series, or excuse me, the National Series last year. The Truck Series is it's gone, but we'll see what they make of the National Series, and hopefully somebody gets to defend my crown because hopefully maybe I could be the reigning National Series champion forever. Who knows? I don't know. I have no idea. But it'll be a very, very competitive Cup Series season next year. Yeah, some guys coming back, some guys moving up, and some new guys even joining the league. So it'll be very, very competitive, and I think that we will have, and it makes me proud to say, and this is going to be my 6th season in CFNL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, good math, Michael. It'll be my 6th season in CFNL, and as the former vice president, it's going to be very, very cool for me to say that we're going to have our best field next year. It's going to be the best that we've had, and that's not even an argument. There's going to be a lot of fast guys and a lot of really, really, really good racers. So it's going to be very exciting for me as kind of a veteran of this series to see what we're going to be next year. But as I said, congratulations to all the Final Four competitors, and especially to Tegan Jones, your 2-time Cup Series champion. And that will conclude the broadcast tonight. Thank you for everybody that watched. Thank you for Ryan. Thank you to Ryan, for joining me. And it was last minute with him because a couple people that we were going to broadcast with weren't able to. And Ryan, very, very gracious, or whatever the word is, I don't have it, but he was very gracious with his time, and last minute came in here and made it and helped me out. So that's it. Tegan Jones, back-to-back champion. Thank you to everybody that watched tonight. I am Michael Whitman, and we will see you next season.